All right, so we're trying to understand this new age of programming, and we're building the segmentation system right now. And I've decided that the initial implementation, just finding micro segments each of 5 to 15, 20 seconds or so on, isn't going to cut it in the final implementation for this. And it needs to be a hierarchical segmentation system. So I need metadata describing the value of what is being said, whether it needs to be supplemented by additional context that can be auto-generated, whether it's relevant in the full section, whether it's key information that you would place in the trailer for the video, the reel, whether, or rather, what are the visuals that are going to come into this system. This type of metadata needs to be applied not just to these segments, but to different segment sizes. And so there's the segment size that is the full video. There's the segment size that is the sort of topic, the one that fluctuates a little bit more, the scale of 20 seconds to 5 minutes, and then there's the full video also. And these have different lengths based on the size also, right? And this is an extremely hard problem to solve. But this AI is so damn good. And what I'm realizing is the bottleneck right now, because part of the work that I'm doing right now is understanding new bottlenecks. So this thing is damn good at implementation, but it's going to figure out things. It's going to say things that are wrong right now. And like the metadata for the microsegment, the metadata for the macrosegment, what this is, figuring out what that is actually hard for the LLM to do. It doesn't have the right context for thinking about this problem. And it doesn't know how to create the correct context from it. And so the engineer, what you have to do is to be able to identify that it's about to make a mistake. And so I can't just set off the auto encoder when this is its understanding right now. So I'm sending off these prompts before this, because I'm about to do a larger auto prompt system. And I need to make sure that its understanding of reality is correct, basically. So I'm starting off, just say like, based on where you are right now, I need you to think about what's your implementation strategy for creating these different segments. And so it goes off and it gives pretty bad ideas for this, honestly. Its initial one, I think, was using the wrong model. It's overcomplicating things. And so here, and this was actually a decent response about how you would string together different contexts in order to label one. But then I say, like, okay, with a different model, like, do a review of this and just make sure that you understand the difference between microsegments and macrosegments. And it gives its new understanding. What it got wrong with this overcomplication and missing the hierarchical nature. So this had been also been analyzed by a different model, which is putting in the language that it needs, that macro segments are composed of micro segments. So it missed the hierarchical nature. And so you need to, if you're going to be an effective engineer in this new age, you need to figure out what the AI's understanding is of a system and hold the system in your own brain at perhaps different levels. And this is what we're trying to arrive at, is what is this new understanding in systems? Because you need to have a lot of vision, creativity. You also need to understand like roughly where it's going to go, because it could take a different direction. And yeah, now where it's left me is I need to think rigorously about what the output that I want from the segmentation system and the metadata for these segments before it goes off, because it's going to do something weird. Like, you can't visual transition that you want in here fade. This is completely irrelevant at this point. You're not going to be able to. This isn't the type of information that you're extracting from microsegments. So, yes, now my job is to clarify the various segment metadata before I go off and have this agent code the system.